Hello. So this past Saturday was C4, the Central Canada Comic Con, and big show, huge, packed, and good news, everyone. It seems like the days of dollar bins might have returned. There were quite a few vendors there that ended up having dollar bins, even though some of them I didn't even know that they were they might have seemed like they were only $2, but I guess I went to a threshold where I only got charged like a dollar each and stuff. So the bulk of these are like that. There are some, of course, that are more than that. For the sake of brevity, I'll only remark on stuff I'm familiar with. Just take it as an unspoken thing that a lot of these are taking a chance on them, as a nice thing to do with dollar bins is being able to try stuff out, being able to find maybe interesting runs or teams of artists and writers. But yeah, okay, let's get into it. This first short box here was from the vendor 204 Comics. I had hit up their shop earlier in the week and I was like, yo, what are you guys going to that con? And they said, yeah, actually, we have a storage unit that we want to unpack there and we're going to have 50 long boxes of dollar books. And I was like, cool, because a lot of the time that's where I find the stuff that I'm kind of more looking for. You know me, I'm not like much of a mainstream guy. I'll try that stuff out once in a while, but it's kind of like off the beaten path. You can kind of find stuff that's like interesting to read, maybe with like interesting art as well. So let's get into this first vendor. This 204 Comics, and yeah, tons of stuff here. Lots of digging. Basically, I usually go to a con for only about half a day. Feel like that's all I need, but in this case, it was kind of like doing two cons in one day because even just those first 50 long boxes is like a con's worth of digging to me normally. So that was about half the day right there. Let's go. First up from Warren Ellis's like mid 2000s Apparit. These are all one-off issues, kind of an indie issue here. This chick is like haunted by a ghost of a junkie. So yeah, maybe pertinent to our times these days. Sorry, guys. Uh, times are fucking rough and crazy out there. That's Quit City #1. This is pretty good on reread actually. Trying out some Barbarella. This is like volume 4 of Dynamite. Barbarella #1 with a Linsner cover. I'm kind of looking for the Doug Mensch, Kelly Jones run of Batman, so here's one of them, Batman 517. This one rules. I'm gonna go into this later, because I got some of this like at another time earlier in the month, but I paid like full back issue retail. But at this point, finding them for $1, I was like getting them again. Tim Truman and Sam Parsons, The Black Lamb. This is #1. This is sick. This is super fun. Horror, sci-fi. Looking forward to. I'm gonna try to get all of these, but it's cool to get just 1 to 3 from the bargain bins there. I'm willing to pay full back issue retail for these too, maybe like $4 to $6 each. I think they'll be. So that was #1. Here's #2. Nice Tim Sherman cover. And #3. S'more Helix. I remember reading this when it came out, and I was kind of just like, whatever. But you know me, I'm a sucker for post-apocalypse sci-fi. This is Garth Ennis and Carlos Esquera, Bloody Mary. I'll try it again. That's #3 and #4. Borderlands. I don't know if this writing is going to be awful. In Borderlands 2, the writing is like kind of decent. A lot of Easter eggs and references to sub and pop culture. But this is written by Amy Chu, Borderlands Moxie's Mysterious Memento, so it might be good. I've kind of liked Amy Chu's writing in the past. Kind of checking these out. Cable by Swierczynski. Gulacy, maybe it's Paul Gulacy on this. This is #16 and #17, #20, #22, and #24. An issue of Cheval Noir. I'll always get these out of the bargain bins. Dark Horse anthology series. It seems like a lot of them are like European imports, maybe, but also David Lynch and Rick Giri, Jeff Darrow, some others. Some people I haven't heard of, but I'll try it out. Always try these out. Classics Illustrated presents Ivanhoe. This was like there was like a made-for-TV miniseries that was like the hotness when me and my best friend were like in school. We'd be like seeing that on TV and like talking about it at school the next day. So I don't know if that'll live up to that TV series, but try it out anyway. Ivanhoe. Cliffhanger, Sketch Wizard Sketchbook #0. So this has got J. Scott Campbell, Joe Madureira, and who's that other guy? Humberto Ramos. Let's just take a quick look here for under a minute if we can. Some of this Joe Madureira sketchbook's kind of neat. Maybe a slice better, like that, yeah. Yeah, there's that Red Monaco. That'll get you interested in that book. I know it worked on me as a kid. I was like, I gotta check that out. Ramos, kind of gothy vampire stuff. And some Danger Girl. Probably influenced by that Fox Force 5 talk in like Pulp Fiction, maybe. He was trying to do something like that. Kind of nice, though. Still never really read those. Anyhow. I like sketchbooks. Some kind of Bad Girls, 90s indie stuff, I guess. Cinder, that's #1. #2. #3. Sorry if the camera's a little shaky. It's a little cold still. Still working outside. Hands are still a little cold. The Dark Crystal, #2. This is Brett Blevins, I think. I think I have #1 somewhere, so. Dark Horse Presents. We'll always get these. This is #102 with some Bernie Wrightson Aliens. Let's give this a quick little look. We should see some Bernie Wrightson Aliens. I wonder what this is like. We shall see. Dark Horse Presents #108, featuring The Ninth Gland by Renee French. Dead Man, Love After Death by Mike Baron, Kelly Jones, and Les Dorscheid. You know, I've got like multiple copies of this, but I can't help rescuing these out of the bin. My favorite run of Dead Man, of course. Followers of the channel know. Mike Baron and Kelly Jones. I don't think I've shown much interior of this previously, so just a little sample here. It's just lovely stuff. Creepy. You know, the women look great too. The horror is creepy and scary. I just love that run, man. I can't resist rescuing these. Deathblow and Wolverine #1. Extra copy of this too. Why not put a little set together? Deathblow and Wolverine #2. If it's good enough, I'll pass it on to friends or the for sale bin. A little bit of a Stankovich maybe influence here. This is mid-80s Deathlock, I think. Oh, you know what? I think it's like 1990 actually, and it's inked by what's that dude's name? Scott Williams also. So that's kind of weird. But I hear that the earliest Deathlock, maybe in like magazine format, are like the best. So I'm kind of keeping my eye out for that. I should familiarize myself with the Deathlock series to find out. Because I know those are the ones I'm looking for. But anyways, 1990, I think this is book 3 and book 4. Kind of prestige format. Here's one, Peach Momoko's Demon Days Mariko. A J. Scott Campbell variant. I just kind of figure, like, you know, some of these things I'll, like, take a chance, and also J. Scott Campbell variants just seem to, like, do okay in the resale market, so maybe I'll be able to get some bucks, help fund this habit of ours, if I don't like this. Trying to put together Savage Dragon again. As a kid, I was like really digging reading these, but I kind of like stopped reading around like, I don't know, issue 30 to 40 or something like that. But revisiting them when I can, they still hold up pretty good. So this is Savage Dragon #23. Here's a later one. It seems like the later ones are a little harder to find, right? Because only the diehards are getting them, the diehard fans or whatever. This is #260. I got this because it has Eastman as one of the people involved, Kevin Eastman. Drawing Blood #7. Kind of piecing these together. We'll see if they're worth holding on to. It seemed like just about everybody there could have put together a set of Electra Saga. Yeah, just another set of copies here. Number two, number three, and number four. I hear these reprint like the expensive kind of Frank Miller uh, Daredevil run that has Elektra up to the death of Elektra. Spoilers. I'm sure everybody knows that though. But I hear that these are kind of abridged, that they edit some stuff out. So um, I'm kind of getting those like those other singles as well. I'll be able to compare them or be able to like know what's missing and stuff later. But this is like the way that I originally read this, and I do love it. This is awesome. Halloween Comic Fest presents Evil Dead 2: Beyond Dead by Dawn. Yeah, we'll see. I love the movies, but I don't know if the comics are any good. Florida Man number three. This is Mike Baron, right? And was this originally like a crowd-funded comic, maybe? Or I might be getting that confused. But Mike Baron doing his own thing in recent years should be odd. And I'll always give Mike Baron a chance, man. One of the goats. Sam Keith, Four Women. I don't know if he wrote this. I think I tried reading this when I was younger, but I didn't really like get into it. I think it's more like there's a set of one to five, the whole series here. I think it's more like human drama, maybe. Kind of just like real life type of stuff, maybe. Sam Keith kind of rules. So number three, number four, and number five. Everybody who was there, you should have got some Global Frequency for $1 if you could have. Shaking my head, man. I feel a little disappointed if anybody I know didn't get some of these. You know who you are. But for my money, there's like some of Warren Ellis's greatest and like timeless. I mean, Planetary, everybody knows about that one, but this one I think also stands the test of time. Transmetropolitan is probably rated as one of his greatest, but it is kind of rooted in the era that it's from. Whereas this one probably can please audiences and not be like divisive based on politics or attitude or anything. There's just like really good action sci-fi. Global Frequency, and each issue stands alone too. If you ever see just a single issue of Global Frequency for $1, I do recommend trying these out. They kind of rule like quite a lot. That's number one. Gunsmith Cats Shades of Grey number one. I have most of these in trade paperbacks, and those are like super expensive now. But maybe they kind of like work as a storyline, so I don't really collect them in a single issue, but it might be a thing. It's kind of nice to have them in this size and being able to like open them up wide and stuff. That's number one, Shades of Grey. An extra copy of Hate by Peter Begg, because if you see Peter Begg in a dollar bin, just get it, even if you have it already. Here's number three of Hate. Okay, one moment. Okay, back. Hawk the Slayer by Garth Ennis and Henry Flint, an artist I never heard of before. But this is like a fantasy action series, it looks like. I know this is based on a movie or inspired by an old movie that was in the UK. The price is like £3.99. I don't know if this was imported from the UK because I don't see US cover price, and I've heard that this was like an import. But I just want to show some of the art here because it does look pretty sick. This chick here, she must be psychic or something if she has that thing, right? Kind of like that guy from Akira. This guy's got maggots coming out of his eyes. Getting the focus in order there. Just flip through. This art by Henry Flint looks sick. This does look pretty cool, man. It doesn't look very generic as far as like action fantasy goes. Just gonna show real quick and stop once in a while, maybe. Yeah, that's some nice line work there, Charlie. This must be a villain. That was number two. I've got a set already, but this seems like it might be a rarity. So this is number three. Let's show a little bit more too, because I think there's some really cool looking stuff in these. Yeah, maybe Barry Windsor Smith influence or that horse. This seems like a very capable artist. That neck going through, or that sword going through the guy's neck. Some good character design and stuff. Looks like nice design, nice coloring even. We'll keep moving though. But yeah, it just seems like kind of a rare thing, so I'm interested in this, so just thought I'd share that. Moving on. A set of Hellboy and the BPRD 1952. Number 1, or I don't know if it's a set, but I think it might be. Number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Mike Mignola and John Arcudi. Alex Believe, Dave Stewart, those are some good names. Some more 90s bad girl stuff. I do like the Boundless comics of Helena, but I guess is like the original 90s stuff. Helena Kiss of Death number 1 from Lightning Comics. That's an odd one. There was a ton of 007 James Bond comics there from Dynamite. I didn't really know where to start, and I don't want to like go too crazy on the budget, so I was just kind of like checking them out if they have like a name I'm familiar with, or in this case, the Linsner covers maybe got me in looking. Johnson, the last name of the writer on this one, I don't know if it's the same writer that was doing those Blade Runner comics that were quite decent. That was number, 2, and number 4 again with Johnson and a Linsner cover. This one, Declan Shalvey, James Bond 007M. I don't know if this is just a one-shot because it has no number on it. Hopefully it's a self-contained story or number 1. This one, Kieran Gillen in a prestige format, James Bond 007 Service. So this might be just a one-shot as well because I see no number on it. Some more post-apocalyptic Garth Ennis with Carlos Ezquerra. Just a Pilgrim, Garden of Eden. Is this? I think I read the first Just a Pilgrim when it came out when I was a youngin', and I was kind of like, whatever. But this might be another one. Just trying it out. That's number 1, number 2, number 3. Cool painted cover there. Maybe Mark Teixeira, however you say that. I bet it is. Number 4, Dave Gibbons cover. Some more Neil Gaiman, Lady Justice, number 3, volume 1. Just, plugging away at those holes in the Lady Justice collection. You guys sick of seeing me pick these up yet? You won't be. Let me show you some of the inside. Here's volume 1, number 7. Here's volume 2, number 1. This is like one of the first ones I ever found, so an extra copy. But let's show it off a little bit. Like I say, these kind of read like dark, almost like heavy metal type stories, mature readers. And there's some nice rendering on those nips and the face, everything there. I was saying these show Lady Justice in classical Greek and Roman statuary didn't exposed breasts symbolize bravery and courage and stuff. I tried to look it up on Wikipedia or even Google, but I think they're wrong, dude. I think history is getting changed, because now they're just saying it's symbolizing femininity and charity and motherhood. But I swear that's not the. I feel like I learned in the past that that's not what it was portraying just 10 or 15 years ago. Who knows? Some Tyler Crook, Lonesome Hunters, The Wolf Child, number 1, and Lonesome Hunters, number 2. Check that out. Always getting Marvel Tales reprints of classic Spider-Man when they're at a good price. This is Marvel Tales number 91. Marvel Universe, plugging holes in that collection too. I don't know, I kind of love flipping through these. And they often have maybe there's Mignola or something, or John Romita Jr. They have a lot of I think original art just for these. I don't know. These are fun. Like kind of like those old trading cards where you just kind of learn about characters and stuff. And I was kind of thinking about these show like first appearances stuff of these kind of weird characters, and maybe those are like keys I'm interested in. Crystal Crusader. I don't know if they look that interesting. That looks like some Kirby here. The Man Cyclops. Dagger. Who drew that? That might be Elliot Brown. I just want to see, like, just for instance, right? There's a weird. Oh, Deathlock. What's his first appearance? Astonishing Tales number 25. Maybe that's the ones to look for. But I think it's those magazine size ones that I hear are the best. They're fun to look for. Where's that one chick? It's Diablo. Diamondback. I remember reading Captain America comics where that chick's crew was awesome. Might look for this Captain America number 310. Just for instance, right? Might look for keys that are kind of off the beaten path. Marvel Universe number 4. More affordable and more fun maybe for me. Maybe they're fun to read too, some stuff like that. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. Number 9. Number 10. Number 11. Have almost a full set of these deluxe editions now then. Marvel's Greatest Comics, number 59. I always say that there's a nice way to get Kirby Fantastic Four on newsprint, because I kind of like that newsprint, and also being able to open it up. So, putting a set of these all together. This is Marvel's Greatest, number 68, with some Doctor Doom. But there's always like a couple pages missing, I think, because I do have the original Fantastic Four this issue, and there's like a big Doctor Doom. What would it be called? Like a splash page where it's just one single panel with him, a big one. And it's not in here, so kind of there's like Easter eggs for the hardcores, I guess. There was one guy there who had original Kirby Run Fantastic Fours for like anywhere from like $15 and up per issue, and yeah, again, I'd say like I covet those. Maybe someday. When I'm done messing around with all these dollar bins, maybe. Mickey Spillane's Mike Danger from Techno, Max Allan Collins, and this is from Volume 1. Volume 2 is one that I already got from Big Entertainment, when Techno changed its name, I guess. And I'd say, like, it's rare that I just, like, can't put a series down, but yeah, I just, that Volume 2, I just, like, read right through them all in, like, one sitting. I just, like, couldn't stop reading them. Fun to read. That's Mike Danger, Max Allan Collins, and various different artists. Neil Gaiman's Mr. Hero, again from Techno Comics. I don't know how rare it is that people recommend this stuff. I can't pretend that I'm familiar with all this stuff. I'm just kind of like, I've had like pretty good luck checking these out, so I'm checking out more. Number 13, and I guess this has another issue in it too. Gene Roddenberry's Lost Universe number 3. Okay. An indie comic, Necronomicon. I flipped through this and it seemed to actually be about that like lore of the Necronomicon with what's his name, the Mad Arab, Abdullah Al-Azarite or something, stuff like that. Xenoscope. These are the guys who put out like Grimm's fairy tales and stuff too. So I don't know if it's junk or not, but a big deluxe issue. And again, stuff like this you could probably get like decent money reselling or trading. Completing my set of Nexus, Nightmare in Blue by Mike Baron and Steve Rude. Here's number 3 and number 4. Look forward to reading that. Outlanders by Joji Manabe. Some of the maybe kind of original post-Eclipse or Viz, like slightly after, and maybe a little bit after Epic also, but Dark Horse, like Studio Proteus, manga Invasion. And I guess as a bondage cover too, it could be considered that, but yeah, just checking this out. And here's number 16. It seemed to have good interior art on other ones that I've looked at, kind of like weird futuristic, like science fantasy, maybe you could consider it, almost like Star Warsy, where it's like fantasy and futuristic. Phage Shadow Death, some more Neil Gaiman. Guy who keeps stealing my moves. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Oh yeah, and it's Brian Talbot, I think, too, on the art or writing. I think he might have done these covers. Didn't I get number 4 also? I think there's 4 issues of that, maybe. The Question returns. I do love the character of The Question. I haven't really checked out much of that old Dennis O'Neil and Dennis Cowan run, because I just couldn't get into the Dennis Cowan art. I don't know if that sounds like hating and blasphemy, but this is Eduardo Barreto, so I'll try this too. I guess this is more recent. Well, 1997 anyway. But yeah, I gotta check out some Question. Some weird kind of indie stuff, I guess. It looks like that maybe trying to be badass. We'll see if it is. It looks like a pretty heavy Sienkiewicz influence on this. Radrex, number 3. And yeah, it's got like some straps and lingerie and shit. Some real bad dude with mesh shirt. Some more indie kind of stuff. Rake Hell for mature readers, number 1. Is this like vampires and shit? Is this it's a wraparound cover. Let's open that up. Kind of that outsider art quality. She was now tainted, indeed contaminated by dark forces. You can see about reading some just random... Better not show all this, though. Some random captions maybe is a good way to get an idea. What are you still doing up, and what the hell are you doing? Raquel, a libertine, dissolute person. Amen. This first incarnation of Raquel is dedicated to Kelly for her extreme patience and support, to Draculina for seeing it through, my models, Kimberly and Diane, and all those who love the danger and beauty of the flowing black line. That's beauty. Okay. Better not show all this, but first the films, then the kinky friends, quote unquote, you started dragging in to play with. We haven't been home in a week, and you've gone through 3 guys, 2 women, and the one... Shit, I never did figure out what it was. Okay. Yeah, just some weird stuff, I guess. Everett Hartso's Razor, number 2. Been revisiting some cartoonist kayfabe, and this always looked like not my kind of thing. Maybe like kind of trying hard to be badass, but they were saying that Everett Hartso's Razor is like kind of good, maybe the stuff that you want to check out. So I think it's him on the writing and art in this, but it is like in the color era. So Razor number 2. Some Amanda Connor, Red Sonja. It seems like I'm trying to like get a good idea of different Red Sonja runs, and it seems like the Amanda Connor stuff is pretty decent. But I think she wrote these, maybe with Jimmy Palmiotti, I forget. But I think she just does the covers, different interior artist. Invisible Red Sonja number 2, number 3, number 4. These Red Sonjas that I've read that were written by Amy Chu were pretty decent, so I grabbed this from the dollar bin, but then when I got home I realized there's a signature, and I'm like, oh cool, it looks like it's signed by Amy Chu, and it's still sealed with a certificate of authenticity, so that's cool, man. Maybe it's something. Maybe that's a good score. I don't know, I couldn't find this in any guide or anything yet, though. Anyways, moving on. A pretty good spy kind of action series by Warren Ellis and Paul Gulacy. I've revisited this, and it was actually pretty good, pretty fun. It's like it's kind of like a fun pulpy action movie when you read it. Warren Ellis and Paul Gulacy. Reload number 1, number 2, number 3. Is this? I think it is. Yeah, it's only 3 issues. Rasa on Comic Cracks Talks on Sundays was talking about Sam and Twitch being pretty good, but I think she was saying It was only like the first story arc, maybe like 6 issues or so that are good. I don't know if she was talking about an old series or this. This looks like it's from 2000 something, maybe more recent. Salmon Twitch Case Files #4. But I thought, why not dip my toes into the Spawn universe, see what's going on there. Salmon Twitch Case Files #5. This is kind of a classic, different different artists with Billy Tucci. Shi Senryaku, based on the Art of War by Sun Tzu. And yeah, just like different artists and doing every 2-page spread. This is Shi Senryaku #1. There's always like weird artists in there. There's like Jim Lee, Dave Sim, Jeff Darrow, like a real what's it called? Smorgasbord. Potpourri of different artists. This is #2. Some kind of mid era Sin City. I mean, like that kind of like in the middle of the era. Sin City Sex and Violence, one shot. I got #1 of this recently, and I kind of been looking for the others. Mark Verheiden, Jan Strnad, who I'm a fan of. Mark Texeira on the art. Stalkers #2. I guess this is like kind of 80s epic. #3. #4. #5. Maybe be able to read this in completion, see how it holds up. Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely, All-Star Superman. Fun series. That's #1. Well, a reprint, a free comic book day reprint of #1. It's a little harder to find those original #1s, it seems. And All-Star Superman #2. Tales to Astonish, starring the Submariner #1, along with #2. Some more of this Neil Gaiman's kind of like heavy metal-y techno comics, or techno.comics. Technophage, #4, because I have the first 3 now, so cool to find #4. Rick Veitch and Brian Talbot also collaborating on this, so fan of those two dudes, especially Brian Talbot. And Technophage #7. Different team at this point, though. Paul Jenkins, Al Davidson, Todd Klein. #8. With a backup, extra free comic in there. Still sealed, guys. I should probably keep this sealed, eh? Probably that doesn't matter. Lost Universe or actually, that's a back cover, so I don't know what the other comic is in here. Should I open it right now? Diminish the value? I'm too lazy. It looks like it'll take 2 hands. I would have to pause it and make a little edit. I'm sorry. The suspense is probably killing you. Probably not. Okay, another weird underground or indie comic, Thistle from Fat Jar Comics. I just gotta try these out, you know, because see these like things. A lot of these you don't. This might be the only time you see it in your life. So, you know, maybe like 1 in 5 will be good, or 1 in 10 or something. But sometimes it's like that with like comic shows or record shows. Maybe it's that weird thing you took a chance on that you'll love as much as like that grail you were looking for forever. Tom Strong #1, putting these together now. I have a run of like 1 to 6 or so I'll check these out. These are recommended. I'll check out some of this Daniel Warren Johnson Transformers. It's hyped up, but I feel like maybe jumping on a random issue will be a fun way to check that out, see how that works out. Trinity Angels #2 by McGuire and Panosian. I kind of liked issue 1 because it's kind of like cheesecakey, like Adam Hughes style, like Babes in it. So we'll see. Unknown Soldier #1 with Killian Plunkett and Garth Ennis. Just an extra of this, but you know, for the friends or for sale. Check out some of this random Void Rivals issues, #12 and #13. This is all hyped up and like kind of the hot stuff right now. So let's see how that is, if the Emperor's clothes are groovy or not. Warrior #1, The Ultimate Warrior. This is epic. You know, I've covered this a little bit before and read from it. This is just, you need this. This is like There's the Bible and there's this. I don't know. It's pretty groovy, fun stuff. Weird War Tales from Vertigo when they did this little mini series with various artists and writers, and it's pretty creepy and like good war horror. This little Vertigo mini series, I do recommend this one. This is one of the ones I was missing. I had this series way before, but purged the collection back in 2000s or so. But some stuff you want to get again. This has Corbin and Revelstoke, Smazzarello, who I'm like kind of like 50-50 on a lot of the time, but Ian Edgington, Eric Shanower. I've talked about this before, just putting together like an extra set. Winter World number 2, number 3. Bug me if you're missing some of these. I might be able to send you some if they're the homies that interact and stuff. I thought I'd like check. I'm just trying to check out different Wolverine runs, looking for good ones. I'll go for one that I found actually to be a good run. Finally, a little later when we come up to it. But I saw this is from Max, the Max line, who was actually pretty good back in them late '90s. I'm not familiar with these names though. Star, Ruiz, and Brown. A little run of Wolverine Max, number 11, number 12, number 13, number 14. And another Wolverine, adjectiveless Wolverine, number 55 by Loeb and Bianchi. I do... They're okay sometimes. Bianchi's art is pretty sick. I've been looking for this for a while. Frank Cho, Savage Wolverine. Mainly because of like the art. I think he wrote this, which I'm like... I kind of don't care about the writing. It's usually like... Not to be a hater, but straight up it's like a little bit mediocre. Sometimes it's more about his art. Let's show a little bit of that. The man can do it. He's got figure art down, and he gives the people what they want. Well, people like me anyways. People like me? Maybe gives people like you what they want. Made you look. Gotcha. Here's some Wolverine finally. Yeah, that figure art, he's awesome, man. He's really got command of that stuff. Something I need to work on myself, man. I need to like really get into that. This crowd fight scene too. Yeah, the art's sick. I hope the writing isn't too mid, or else I'll feel conflicted on keeping this or not. Shanna the She-Devil figuring heavily in this. From when I flipped through, he was kind of getting his butt kicked and Shanna was saving his ass, which is, that's par for the course that the heroes aren't, like, they gotta let them be heroic. But, yeah, the man can even, like, draw animals really well, too. So, yeah, we'll check this out, man. See how it goes. Been looking for this for a while, really curious about this. Savage Wolverine number 6 when it's who is this again? Wells and Madureira on the art. Let's just check out a little bit because check out some more recent Joe Mad quick. There was some like pretty decent like looks Elektra there, but it seems like it's not really like action poses are the strength. It seems like it's kind of just poses maybe. Looks like some decent stuff, though. There's another big Elektra splash. Getting a run of X-Men Classic or Classic X-Men together. There's a bunch of Mike Mignola covers here. Number 59. Number 60. Number 63. And 65. So cartoony. The psychic lines coming off of Xavier there. Number 68. An extra copy of X-Men Annual number 12. This might be like the best newsstand copy that I've come across, so maybe an upgrade there. Finally, oh, and wait, this comes with a little backup in it too of like reprinting some old Kirby. Marvel Comics presents X-Men. But finally, finding some Zorro. Aren't you excited, guys? I am. I've been really enjoying reading this Don McGregor Zorro. Number 0, number 1. Extra copies of those too, but these other ones I didn't have yet. Number 2. Who did this cover? Is it like Jay Lee or something? Kind of weird looking. They had these like weird little fantasy art trading card samples there. Might be good bookmarks. Michael Kaluta. Let's check it out maybe. I've never seen these like Michael Kaluta trading cards anywhere, but I'd be interested to see them. Oh yeah, that's a nice Vampirella piece of art there. And this other one, Pinup Girls, Alberto Vargas or Varga. I could always just use these as a bookmark too. I mean, you don't find a cool bookmark for $1 very often, I guess. Alright, so that did it for 204 Comics with those $50 bins, dollar long boxes. They apparently have like maybe just as much more coming out of storage that they'll be selling as well. But maybe I'll cut the video off here, guys, because I've heard some of you like videos not being too long. I do like long videos myself, just so I can like kind of set it and forget it while I'm doing stuff at work or around the house or something like that. But just for the sake of variety, I'll do this in a two-parter. I'll upload the next one maybe like before long. But yeah, more dollar bins to come, and some like bigger items, some like kind of keys or more like valuable stuff, and other weird stuff that I actually paid money for. But you know, my thing is like I always want good writing and good art, so even that stuff that I'm paying good money for is like stuff I'm really salivating to dig into. So that'll be coming up in the next one, guys, and it'll be up before long, maybe even like tomorrow or before the weekend at the latest. Okay, so thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, and always nice to hear from you in the comments. Please like and subscribe and stuff if this seems like something you would like to do. And yeah, see you in the next one. Cheers. Happy hunting.